What is up, guys? The DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video. Today we have Team Midwest Gaming Podcast versus an hour long of time slot to fill.
Doesn't have to be an hour.
Let's go.
If we finish before an hour, I'm just gonna fill the rest of it with a video of my cat. So
My cat.
Izzy's cuter. I'm sorry. Chonk is just fat.
You.
Wow.
All right.
By that one.
Anyways, welcome to our Yu-Gi-Oh podcast.
What's the discussion points? New ban list, OCG?
Yeah. So we got the new OCG list came out. And Jose got married. I'm going to bring this up again. Hi, Jose.
I was there. Oh, wait.
Yikes.
You were not.
Yeah, so OCG ban list. I think I can bring it over.
This is honestly a pretty good ban list.
A lot of stuff on it.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. I agree with them bringing Fusion Destiny back just to put it at 1, because then it makes it an actual hero card instead of just Anaconda food.
What is Anaconda then?
Anaconda's banned.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for it to be Anaconda food at all at that point.
My only concern was, isn't branded Despia the best deck over there?
No,
Okay.
by a little bit, but not by too much.
Okay, because it's they didn't. I don't think they hit any branded cards. So
They
sure.
They
didn't hit any Despia cards, right?
It was just opening it too.
Brenda and Despia are pretty much the same thing, honestly. And then the Brenda opening is actually one of the starter. I think hitting Pot of Prosperity also hurts, and also, if I remember correct, Brenda Despia is also a Brave deck, and Brave does help a lot. So Brave Engine going away is also hurting.
Okay, yeah, because I thought the biggest hit for them was just the Anaconda.
Anaconda wasn't even used that much.
Really? I thought they played it for as extender. But
it's played when you're only able to Anaconda do things, but most of the time you don't even summon Anaconda.
Yeah, because it locks you into fusion monsters most of the effects.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their extra deck is 1 Anaconda and 14 fusion monster usually.
That's what I saw. I was like,
bro,
right.
I can't wait for that deck. It's gonna be so fun.
Sorry, Brian, we ranted, but
No,
we're gonna guide us. I think them hitting Imperial Order doesn't matter. That card should have been gone forever. I don't think there's much discussion there.
Yeah, I'm always happy to see Imperial Order gone. The more I can activate Engage, the happier I am. So
I agree wholeheartedly.
And Sky is still a pretty popular deck in the OCG, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just probably arguably one of the better control decks, and if Maxi is legal, it's just.
Well, they got Faker to 3, I'm pretty sure too.
Yeah,
don't really matter, honestly.
I loved seeing that, and the Altergeist former player in me loved seeing that. And just
the thing with the adventure thing is interesting because it forces you to play the Cherubini package to actually be able to use it, because you were never hard drawing that stuff. If they're at 1, there's no way I'm playing 3 bricks for 2 starters. This doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, you just have to do the Cherubini stuff.
Or just don't use it. It's pretty much unplayable in there.
Yeah, well, Fusion Destiny is going to be similar too now, right? With Verte gone, you're playing 1 Fusion Destiny and 2 bricks.
So you won't play it. It's not worth
it. Play it.
Yeah.
I think that was probably their thought. They're like, if you want to keep going with this, it's not gone. But now the consistency of your deck is just not great. Because I feel like the OCG always does this. They're like, we'll let you win with those cards, but you're just worse if you play them, because there's probably something more consistent out there.
Well, and it's pseudo searchable, I guess, off the Predaplant thing. So you play a pile deck like that, I guess. But other than that,
That
yeah.
usually doesn't work in OCG. It never does.
Yeah, pile decks are kind of big here, but
also I think was it Scorpio is the one that you summoned the other one. Scorpio is limited.
Yeah.
OCG.
Oh, really?
Things like years ago.
That's interesting.
I didn't know that.
I mean, you still have Lone Fire, but like, yeah, it's not good enough. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Alrighty.
Do we think any of these hits to 2 matter? Some of them are like back to 2, right? Night Assailant went from 0 to 2.
I mean,
Yeah, Prosperity going to 2 is crazy.
I think the big discussion for there are like, what is the future of like pots?
Yeah,
because it's like they're
makes
clearly
sense.
willing to hit them, and like the OCG has already had a few. TCG not so much yet, but like they're very good cards, and I think the problem with them is just like if my deck can afford them, I'm gonna play 3 of them. So it's, I mean, from a business standpoint, they like want to cut off cards, like get more other expensive ones. And just from a consistency standpoint, do they want to hit that just to make decks more variable? Because I think that's the big thing with like Yu-Gi-Oh! There's always some like, you can win, but if it's more random, I think it helps other people play more random things instead of just like the same, like very established meta decks.
Because Pot of Desires is at 2 in the OCG, I think, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And is that the only other pot other than Greed that's hit?
I don't know about Avarice.
Avarice is back.
Yeah, I think Avarice is back at 3. I don't see any other pots. I've got the other list pulled up, the full list, the full previous list pulled up.
It just Greed ban obviously, and then Desires and Prosperity both semi.
Yeah.
So the ones that are like generating a lot of advantage with like little cost are the ones that are getting hit, right? Like Desires and Greed are both +1s. Avarice is a +1, but it's not always live.
Well, you can think this way. Hitting Desire, previous list was trying to hit Sorcerer. Because Sorcerer just blindly play Desire, which is also a thing here. Prosperity is also for any Brave deck and then Fusion decks later where you do need your materials in the deck to be available so you can play Desires. That's why Prosperity also get hit. Like Prosperity is actually you can say a Death Spearhead in some sort.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's crazy that they hit in the CCG they hit Desires before Prosperity. I guess like Desires was the older card.
Prosperity is still relatively new and never got reprinted, so it probably won't even get hit. But on the other hand, we in TCG will have the same amount of total good pots compared to OCG in terms of like Desire and Prosperity.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't think Prosperity and TCG will ever get hit for another like year, maybe even 2.
Well, isn't it in the 10s? I'm pretty sure it's in the 10s.
Well, yeah, but you think Konami is just gonna make money like once just for the 10s? They're gonna reprint it like 3-4 times.
That's what they did with the Danger.
What?
Like after 2018 Nats, they like reprinted all the Dangers and all this stuff for the check.
But Danger is like archetype, and then pots are like generic cards. Like they even reprinted Desires for what, like 5 times already at this point, something like that.
Yeah,
3, 4 at least. So that's why they finally threw Desire into the balance. Prosperity is like we are getting our probably first reprinted at the worst case in the Mega Team, maybe even earlier in like one of the side sets, like last year's Lightning Storm.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Do we
I think the crazy. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do we think any of the archetype, I don't know what word I was going for there, but the cards that got from 1 to 2 that are archetype specific, are they going to have any impact on the meta? Specifically like Harmonizing, Zen Mighty, Hardpour. English is hard, Walter, okay?
No.
Like half of them don't even matter. Like
I think I agree with that. I think Harper coming back to 2 is cool, but I don't think it really does much.
They still have less in total for work as monsters because Gears was at 1, and then with 2 Harp, it really doesn't change anything. I mean, the craziest part about this ban list is like Fractal went from 3-2, Ben 10 to a 3.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. Was Try even like doing much of anything over there, or was it just?
There were a little bit of Bird try and then Brenda try at the beginning of last format.
Okay.
It's more of just percussion hits just to prevent try being too good after the balance, I think.
Oh, sure. Like
Yeah.
if they nerf other
But,
stuff, they don't want it to.
yeah. But on the other hand, I don't understand why Drytron still got untouched. It's been like over a year.
They're crazy.
That's good.
Like, does Japanese people really just don't know how to play Drytron to a point? Konami, Japan just don't even see the deck as threatening.
Might be. The only thought I had from the ban list, like I think a lot of those twos don't matter, but I was wondering if like the TCG really likes playing Small World now.
Uh-huh.
And like I was wondering if because they hit all these consistency cards, like the OCG was finally gonna pick that card up. Because they still have like cards to search for, but they just don't do it.
It's a weird dynamic from both sides because OCG, you always like, for example, you draw like an average opening here, right? You have to at least devote 1 to 2 cards in your hand just for Maxi, because you can, if you search your engine piece, you can Maxi its points.
Yeah.
At that point, with Small World -1, as in addition to it, you are like essentially combo with what 2 cards out of 5 into every possible thing. It's that's why the card's not that useful at all.
Yeah.
It's not like TCG where you draw 5 cards, like most likely at least 4 of them are engine cards. So you threw one away for small, it doesn't matter.
That's a pretty good point. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Was there any purpose for Divine Wind of the Mist Valley to be?
Oh yeah, people just forgot that card. They finally remember.
Yeah, because it's still limited in TCG too, I think.
There's probably time for it to come back as well. Or, I mean, Konami is testing things, right? Especially OCG list. They just release something, it'll be like, oh, if you guys can break it, nah, we're just gonna keep releasing it.
So if Divine Wind of the Mist Valley was at 3 during the Tribird deck at the more full power, would it have even been played? Like
What
to
really
bounce
even
with
goes
Avian
back
and
to
then
your
summon the barrier statue? Or? Like,
sounds pretty good.
it's just like unsearchable, right? Other than terraforming,
Yeah.
but then you'd have to commit what?
Hey, there's 3 metaverse now. That's searchable.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. In the OCG, they now got Metaverse was at 2, I think, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is what is I can't even think. Is Mystic Mind just not a thing over there? Do
It's
they just not
gone.
care
It's
about that?
banned like last year, July.
Oh,
Something.
okay.
Yeah.
Well then, yeah, that makes sense then.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why we still have it here.
Yeah, seriously.
The biggest boost from this balance, I think, is Heroes. They got their Fusion Destiny back, and they got one more Hero list, and they have all the new cards gained or coming.
Yeah.
Does the deck like put up a negate yet? Because
no,
like,
but it can just a single hero lives is like I think what's a single hero? Just a single hero lives is DP Dodgeball.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that makes sense.
I know, it's kind of crazy though.
You just like Stratos into Vion and then like Poly and all those.
No, the my friend told me, and it was like a very interesting way to do it. You Stratos grab Ferris and you tribute some of Ferris. Assume it's a real.
Oh, what the hell? That's insane.
Yeah. Well, no, it never happened in real life because you will almost always have another hero to do. But if you do the true 1-card combo, you go that way.
Oh, that's funny.
That's interesting.
So Shadows tribute for Ferris grab increase and do things, and then Fuse for DPE, and then trigger the Wonder thing, reset Fusion for Sunrise into the new one, the Wake Up Your Hero. and then use DP to pop that to summon Shadow Mist from the deck.
That's sick.
That's
See where that deck sucks.
It's actually not that bad. It's actually not that bad at all.
It's
okay.
it's kind of scary sometimes. Like heroes just like wins games out of nowhere.
Yeah, they
which
kill you
is
fast.
frustrating.
Yeah, how's a good amount of shrunk cards nowadays? Like in OCG, like there's 3 hero levels, Fusion Destiny. Honestly, just a Ferris is kind of scary sometimes if you don't have a way to deal with it. Like Ferris pitch Mally, like he's gonna do a lot of things no matter what you do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is Mally semi in OCG as well?
Well, of course. It doesn't really matter because you have Denier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can loop it. And Denier's crazy.
Yeah, Denier's broken.
Nice.
Because like in that deck, it's just a real extender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can just Fusion Destiny keep going in Heroes. So like
Yeah.
that might be the one deck now that can just like actually capitalize on Fusion Destiny.
I mean, it's a hero card in a
Yeah,
hero deck.
it fits in their engine, and they don't have to stop once they activate it. So what other
Funny, Raigeki went to 2.
what other decks are like just popular in the OCG right now?
Need to pay attention to OCG more.
Wonder.
There's like Brenda probably still able to play. There is let me see. I think the Brave Synchro, like the Tangy Rose Dragon Synchro version.
Yeah, because they have Dengwon.
Yeah, it's still gonna be playable. They will probably still play Brave just for the level 7s. And then there's like just more a mix of like what Punk. It's more like a fiber aura deck mix with like Dengwon.
Yeah, I'm surprised Auroradon is still around.
I'm surprised Jenna Olang is still around.
I'm surprised Alp is
Oh,
still around. I don't know. It just seems like eventually they do a pretty good job of just nerfing extra deck cards that summon from the main deck.
Mm-hmm.
Like Alpi is banned, Mermaid is banned, Summon Source is banned.
yeah, we still have Assault though.
Yeah,
like,
but that's
we
just
haven't
like
had
a
a good
little bit
warrior.
less
The amount of bricks
generic.
you have to play. The amount of bricks you have to play for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Phoenix Blade is still banned since that year.
Phoenix Blade.
Yes. Yep, the Divine Sword is still banned. So yeah, that makes Assault a lot worse over there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, I'm waiting for the day that Hulk gets banned. I think it's inevitable. I just don't know how long it's going to take him to do it.
Get it out.
Hulk is so crazy. Like, I've been playing the Dragon Link Brave deck, and like, your like normal summon push will get stopped, and then you'll like play with the Brave cards, and then your Hulk will get stopped. And you're just sitting there with like a Hulk and an adventure token, and like you pass on that. That's enough because you tag out into Shooting Riser and then make Baron on their turn. And they're playing with
Honestly,
4 cards.
any Dragon Link things from whatever you said. So I don't know if it's a Dragon Link Brave deck or just a Brave Fiber deck.
Nah, like your normal summon push is like black metal or something like that.
Oh. The least Dragon Link part of the Dragon Link deck.
Exactly.
Hey,
There
there
you
are dragons,
go.
and you link summon with them sometimes. That's good enough for me.
God, yes. I do want to try the Striker Brave deck. It just seems kind of interesting.
Yeah, my gut just told me it was bad. And maybe I'm wrong. DPE is just like a lot worse than it used to be the format before.
Agreed.
And like Striker going first is just so awful. Like I don't know. I hate every time I have to go first playing Striker. I just hate it. It's just not amazing. It's not like there's so many better decks you can pick to go first. So, like if you're going to go first, why would you ever play Striker?
Yeah.
It's just so much better at picking apart boards than it is at like establishing anything that you can win with when it goes first.
Well, then just go second with it. You get more value out of the Brave cards.
Yeah. Did he didn't play Griffin, right?
I don't know. I don't remember.
think
I thought that list was like not very good. He played a lot of 2-ofs. He didn't play Foolish, which was crazy to me.
With
That
for
seems
the
like a
enchanters,
card
yeah.
that, yeah, that like has to be in your deck if you're playing Striker.
Do you think the OCG is gonna gear toward like level 3 stuff now that Enchantress and Ride are both at 1?
People just not play it. People just not play it.
You think they just cut it completely before they try to?
Yeah, there's
make
also
Cherubini?
like there's also nothing really good at making Cherubini anymore.
Well, is Rusty banned or something?
Rusty isn't Torn Scouts Limited.
Ah,
I bet they
Yeah.
have Sangan though.
let's
How
go.
are you gonna make Sangan? How are you gonna make Cherubini with Sangan?
Do they have the psychic level 3s?
Yeah.
Easy.
Can't you do Cherubini with Arborea?
Yeah, so you do
Then,
Sangan in the
then
psychic
where's
level
the second
3, and then
level
Sangan
3?
searches Arborea.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a fight brings up Cherubini here.
Right, that's true.
I mean, yeah, but like you can do that and you can play Carbonet on. So like you have 2 ways, like 2 Singans and a Sportans.
Active Maxi response.
Better have it.
I think that's the biggest reason for them not to play. Just because like they have cross out at 1, right?
Yeah,
Or like
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
low. And called at 1 or 2?
2.
2.
And 2
okay.
apps, I think, right?
No, Asher 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see
Oh,
Ash on the list. I
yeah.
think there's 3.
Okay. Yeah. It's just like Maxi is such a different card to talk about whenever we talk about that format. Because it's like my push play, if they have the Maxi, I just lose.
Mackie challenge. Usually you lose that challenge.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Maxi
because
is
you guys
tough.
never. That's because you guys barely play the format.
Pretty fun in Master Duel to watch someone continually to special summon after I max C, and then I have 80 cards in my hand. And it's like, you really think you're winning out of this, man? I have every
I've
card in
killed
my deck in
people.
my hand.
I've
I
killed
can
people.
win this turn.
Joe left us, and he's back.
Joe's having technical difficulties.
Let's go.
He is indeed in his car, though.
He keeps leaving and coming back.
Yeah, he probably drove to somewhere here with there's no signal.
Yeah.
Trouble in Chipotle paradise for Joe.
He didn't get his Chipotle and they're blocking his cell signal.
Okay, is it broken for anybody else or just me?
I think it's just you.
It's just you.
We've all been okay, but you've been kind of going in and out with some technical difficulties.
It's just like you guys' audio is like mad screwed up, so.
Oh yeah, that I'm not hearing that at all.
Okay. Oh, it's better now.
Neat.
Okay, Brian John, would you like to move on to topic number 2?
Topic number 2.
The B plot.
Yeah.
The B plot. Let's go.
Yeah. So last week I got the chance to hang out with Team Board Wipe and just talk about old formats and reminisce about actually going to events, and it was fun. Who asked?
No, you asked to be on Team Wardwipe, Brian John.
That's true. That's true. In my early days, when I was still bad, I sent Jake Kinsey a message. I was like, "You guys are so good. Can I be on your team?" And he said yes.
Yeah.
Good now?
Being bad.
I did that, but Brian said no. I just bought Brian.
Yeah.
Now he's on your team.
That sounds familiar.
Power move.
Weird.
Yeah, so we were just like chatting, hanging out. So we figured we'd do a little bit of that this week. Just chat, hang out, talk about some favorite memories from past regionals, YCSs, tournaments, traveling. All while we're hoping that we get OICS in April.
Please.
I think so.
I don't think
Be
so.
nice.
I feel like if one was going to happen in April, it would have been announced. But
I think it would have been announced by now.
I'm still holding on to that just glimmer of hope that they'll be like, hey, YCS in 3 weeks, let's go.
So when is Nats usually? Is it May or June?
End of June, early July.
End of June, July. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. So I think we'll get Nats for sure. I know they like updated the points thing.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah, that makes me think they're planning for Nats. But...
Yep.
All the invites carry over, right?
Yeah.
From like 2 years now or 3, I guess.
Yeah, everything from that 2019 to 2020 season is carrying because they're counting all those points too.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
So they're just adding to that now.
So long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I'd have a lot more points than I did, but I didn't.
Yeah, not
remote duels don't count, Joe. Sorry.
Okay, I have remote duel regional.
Remote duels are the only ones that count for the current season.
I played one. I think there was 22 people, and I was like, no.
Did you win it?
It's better
now. I was playing Plunder Patrol though.
It's better now because they kind of condensed. Like used to be like 3-4 regionals a week, and now there's just only one.
Yeah,
that's what I remember. Yeah, that's probably better for them. I was like, why do you have so many stores hosting them?
They expected people to be more passionate about playing regionals.
Yeah, because that's how it used to be too with IRL regionals. Like they had to have that many a weekend because like you can't physically get all the people every weekend for a regional. So
yeah,
they'd have 4 or 5 regionals a weekend spread throughout the country. So I think they just tried to imitate that with the remote duel schedule, and they're like, oh wait, people hate remote duels. This isn't gonna work. We only can do one.
Crazy.
But yeah, so I'm assuming we're gonna get a Nats. And I'm not too worried that it hasn't been announced yet because I still think we're in like a decent timeline for it. At this point, I think if we get a YCS before then, it's not going to be until May, which makes me sad. But I mean, one YCS in May is better than none before Nats.
Yes.
Well, I mean, like to be fair, hopefully, if it's in May, we get a new format because fuck this format.
Yeah, that's true.
Next No Sooner Days in a few months.
Sorry, Joe. That is a few months.
Yeah, so
that ass said that on the website. I was so shocked that they got that.
Yeah, it's been a while since they've like not put a date on there because it was like maybe 2015, 2016. Like it was like a few years back that they started specifically saying no sooner than.
I think since there is a No Sooner Than, we always know the date. It just the band is not always coming at around the date, but it's the first time we didn't even get a date.
Yeah, it's.
I think it's probably Konami's side where they think or they thought it was actually not necessary to give out a list despite we're doing COVID season, but at the same time because the No Sooner Day they kind of feel like they're being pushed. That's why this time they'll be like, "Fuck yeah, we're not doing any shit. We're just gonna wait until there's actually real tournaments."
Sure.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
So theoretically, on April 7th is exactly 2 months from this list. So one could argue that is a few months.
That's a couple, not a few.
Okay, but like the words couple and few are not meant to indicate specific numbers. They're vague terms on purpose.
I think. My guess will be.
I know a lot of people would argue on that, right?
My guess will be May around like where we get next course at. So they keep one big like course set release.
What is the course they bring?
Pendulum cores, let's go!
Thanks.
Really?
Yeah, the next set is a lot of Performa Pal support.
Oh my
god!
A lot of
well, that's why we get Beyond the Pendulum, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that link to the support pendulums, and then
we have a guest.
When does the structure deck come out for Despia?
That's early April, if I remember.
I can't wait.
What's the dog's name? We have a special guest.
His name is Louis. He sucks at Yu-Gi-Oh though. but so do I, so it doesn't matter.
Classic.
Hey, you find a testing partner.
Yeah.
He sits right there, but he doesn't. His plays are terrible. So,
Jose, your wedding finally got me to get Montana to play a game of goats.
oh really?
Go.
Kind of. We were on the plane
Oh.
and we only used one deck and we shared the discard pile. So like I was like teaching her like how different interactions work. So I never added Sinister Serpent to my hand, and she got it every time.
Be
Nice.
kind.
And she won.
We also drew the Trinity, and you never saw any.
And she won. So now she gets to say she's actually got 100% win rate in Yu-Gi-Oh, and she said she's never gonna play again. So.
Oh no.
All
That's the way
right.
to go.
Yeah. So I'm just hoping for a list in a YCS in April, even though I don't think it's gonna happen. You guys are probably right. It's probably gonna be May. But I'll kick us off with my favorite memory from a YCS, but I didn't plan one.
Let me go first.
I know my favorite.
Joe will start us off.
Okay. This isn't my favorite memory, but it's one that like really sticks out to me. The first and only time I went to a Chicago regional was 2019, and it was Striker Orchestra format.
Nice.
And I had never played Striker Orchestra in a real event. I was just like testing with Caleb a lot, and he was playing like Pure Thunder, and he was like shitting.
Okay,
Joe, start
so
fresh.
Caleb was shitting on
I'm
you.
recommending these now.
Is
Yeah.
what I heard.
Yeah, and that deck is terrible. So I was like, damn, I must be just really bad at this deck, which is true. So I'm driving to Chicago, and it's like 2-3 in the morning, and like Justin Singh never sleeps, in case you were wondering. So he's like talking to me while I'm driving, and he's telling me like all these like niche plays and stuff, and I was just taking notes the whole time. I get to the venue, and John Wilkin, who is a child,
Okay.
a very good duelist, like sits down because we used to be teammates, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna teach you how to play the mirror." And I was like, "Okay." So we played the mirror for like an hour. I didn't win a single game. I think I went like 0-7 or something like awful. And I was like, "All right, I'm so glad I drove 6.5 hours to, scrub this regional." And it was like a 9-round regional. So I was like very not prepared, but I definitely had like internalized everything that they had told me. So John's like talking shit the whole time that we're testing. He's like, "All right, like, do you want to like put money on like who's gonna do better or whatever?" And I was like, "No, bro, like you obviously gonna do better or whatever." So the tournament starts. My first round, I'm playing against Pure Striker, and Orca Striker has like a phenomenal matchup against that, unless they like can set up multiple shark cannons. Like you usually win that pretty easy. So I like scraped my opponent in like 10 minutes, and I felt really bad because I like drew engage off engage twice, I think, and he just got like really sacked. And I kind of expected him to be tilted because I would be tilted, but he wasn't. So I like picked up my cards, and I was like, "Damn, like I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten in like, I don't know, almost like 24 hours, whatever." And he's like, "Do you want to go get food?" And I was like, "Sure." So this man like drives me to McDonald's, buys me breakfast, and then takes me back to the venue. Like a complete stranger
Damn.
who I like absolutely bodied.
What a nice guy. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was so nice. Like the nicest experience I had in Yu-Gi-Oh. And then to make a very long story short, I finished X11. I played 7 mirrors. I won all of them. My only loss was to Pendulum. Oh wait, no. I did not play 7 mirrors. Oh, yeah, I did play 7 mirrors. Okay, yeah. I lost to Pendulum, and I drew in the mirror, and I got 10th, which was great.
Nice.
X11 not topping. My favorite.
Yeah, I've been there at multiple regionals. There's one in Minnesota and one in Iowa. X11 I got 10th and 11th. It was pretty wild. But
And the best part was John Wilkin scrubbed after round 4.
should have taken a bet.
Nice.
Yeah, I do remember my favorite now. I've been reminded. Kind of a similar story to yours, but not quite. I wasn't losing my testing because I was bad. I was losing my testing because my deck was bad. In theory, it turns out it was the best deck. It was the ABC Draco Sky
Oh.
deck.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
I gotta go.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate you
Yeah.
so much for
Let's
that.
I'm out. Bye.
So this was the end of 2018. I had
remember
been playing
this.
Draco Sky for a while, and I just decided to meme this Minnesota regional, and I took out the spellbook engine and added an ABC engine, so it was just infinitely worse. And I was playing with Jose before the regional, and he was playing some Orcus deck and just stomping on me. And it was just not good. I was like, okay, well, I already submitted my deck list, so I hate everything. And then I got like third place because I only lost to one Orcus match. I kept just bodying people because they wouldn't kill me. And I'd open like okay, but with the ABC engine in hand that I didn't use going first, and they wouldn't kill me. And then without fail, I would just use ABC pieces, link climb into Boral Sword, summon Dragon Buster, and game them. I did it so often, and
I remember this regional very
yeah, I played
vividly.
Zach Butler at this regional,
Let's go.
Almost did to him.
and he still has nightmares of our A Assault Core. I had a Shark Cannon, a Draco spell set, and an Ignis in hand, and like an Afterburners or something. So like I Afterburners his Striker Link monster. He has a set Eagle Booster and he doesn't chain it. So he triggers his Ray Engrave and I Shark Cannon it to summon it, link it away, tribute my Ignis for the Draco spell, pop his other set, and my Link monster and Ignis were like exactly 1900 short for game. And the card I drew for turn was A Assault Core. So I normal summoned it and just attacked him for game with it. He just kind of stared at me. He was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "I'm sorry."
Let's go.
I wasn't sorry.
Oh,
As you shouldn't
speaking
be.
of Minneapolis regional stories, so at the like very last couple events before COVID started, I was playing this very cool spiral deck that was extremely expensive. It was like three three extravagance, three lightning storm, like three Appaloosa. You just like go second, you just like body your opponent. So Brian was like, "Oh, I want to play this really good deck," and I was like, "All right, say less. Let me just drop $1,500 on Yu-Gi-Oh cards." So we scrambled and got Brian the entire deck, and Ethan and I played the regional, and so did Caleb, and so did Brian. And Ethan, Caleb, and I were first, second, and third, and Brian dropped after like round one.
First of all, I dropped after around like 6 or 7. And second of all, you didn't have to buy most of it. We found a lot of stuff to borrow from other people. So like, you did not spend $1,500. That's trash.
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, the deck was very expensive and very good, and I just punted a lot. So
And then shout out to Jose for that night. We were like, all right, fuck it. We're going to Nebraska, which is just not a real place.
you guys
Jeez.
did that double?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
insane. What the hell?
Yeah. So I got second at Minneapolis, and then I got fourth at Omaha the next day.
Damn.
But round two, I played against literally just a glue deck, like border turbo. And he like didn't do anything. He was like playing Grand Maju with it. And like game one, all they did was like normal summon Grand Maju and pass, and I killed him. And I was like, all right, sick. So I sided out Lightning Storm, and he just went first and normal summoned Inspector Border. And there is not a single out in my deck to that card.
Feels
And
bad.
I was just like,
Oh, there is, right? If you play Spiral.
it is literally just Sleeper.
Yeah.
But like, that would require me to get 3 cards and hard draw it with 1 resort. Like,
Oh, yeah.
And
So that's
also, he
100.
probably set how many cards?
lots.
Yeah.
So I
Inspector
lost
Border
to that.
lots.
That was sick. Another really cool thing about that regional is I think it was 7 or 8 rounds. It wasn't very big, but I was at like table 3, like the second to last round, and like I played the mirror, and my opponent tried to slow play me, which was very cool. And then I called Richard over, and Richard like made sure my opponent played at a reasonable pace, which was great. So I won that match. But I'm like watching the other match because they got a 10-minute time extension. My opponent opens like Souls, Foolish Burial Goods, like Quick Fix, and Agent. So like their hand is insane. And they take a 4-minute turn to end on Boral Sword in the extra monster zone and Trigate below it.
That's it.
And that was it.
Wow.
And I was like, sick.
Classic.
And then Jose drove me home after we got Applebee's.
Applebee's is the important part.
Shout out to that man for driving me.
That was a terrible regional for me, but I was playing garbage, so.
Yeah, your deck was insane.
My favorite match though was that that other Spiral player that was like he goes first, does his whole board, and like my 6th card is Dark Ruler no more. I was like, oh my god, I won. So I activate that, and he just like keeps saying I'm gonna respond to this, and he has nothing. I like know every single card in his board. And I was like, whatever. And eventually Joe comes around and he's like, what's happening here? It was a weird match. He was very salty, but I mean, that's what happens when your board can't play through one very good card. So
yeah, exactly. Jose was playing Orchestra with no harp. That man was insane.
It was Orchestral. Straight going second on a format where going first was obviously the better call. Yeah. Like forever.
You're a madman.
I didn't have anything better. Crazy. But yeah, I was like, if I see Shuttle Fusion, I win. So we're about it.
God, yeah.
Let's go. Best card.
Let me see. I think I also have a good one. It was years ago. It was like Vice's Origin. I think that time was the prize card was Minerva. I was in the playoff for the side events because I didn't do well in main event. And then so we sit down, we start playing. My first round was like a Cosmo Mirror. I was playing Cosmo for Diven, Demise Cosmo, just to test it out because it's right before Nat. So I played different than what I usually play, just to test things. Round 1 was I was playing Demise Cosmo, and then my opponent was like a regular Cosmo, so I obviously won because I have more like traps and everything. And then so I finished very quick. I sit down there, I peek like the table next to me that will most likely be my opponent. It was a Gravekeeper and then a Pendulum Guy. So out of everyone can think of, all right, my final round opponent for the Minerva prize card gonna be the Pendulum Guy, right? So I already start drafting. How do I want to play against the Pendulum Guy? And I just saw them start game 3. The Gravekeeper goes Necro Valley, Royal Tribute. The Pendulum Guy just dropped his entire head.
Let's go!
And then I was shocked. Then I realized the Pen Guy was even more shocked than me. And the Pen Guy draw for turn was a Baylor. So he just got past and got killed by the Gravekeeper like 2 turns later.
Nice.
So I get to play this GK guy for the finals for a Minerva prize card. Despite Minerva was only 300-400 because it's right before that, but it was still for a Minerva, right? The GK guy, I think, goes start doing something, set a monster. Well, obviously that's a spy or something. Most likely be a spy there, right? I look at my hand, cool. Activate Stormforce, tribute for Slip Ride, and pop your back row. Attack the mice. He just got destroyed, I think, because he said like 3 to maybe 4 spy the entire match. None of them got flipped. Like I think 3 of them got Stormforce and Tribute, and 1 of them got Dark Destroyer.
Let's go.
Stormforce, let's go. Monarch Stormforce, go crazy.
Yeah, that's how I got my Minerva. I'm still having it.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a picture of you with the Minerva.
Yeah.
Oh, word?
Oh yes, it's on.
I was
It's
on
on the
Konami's
screen
website.
now.
Yeah, it's on the. It's on Konami's website, I think.
Yeah, for YCS
Yeah.
Origins.
I've got a favorite.
Yeah.
So when my first year playing Yu-Gi-Oh competitively and seriously, I got an invite to Nats, which was awesome, and I traveled out there with some people. Unfortunately, not these guys, but I stayed with these guys, and the entire night before, and then the day before, before the event started, I was just scraping people with my deck. I was thinking I was the hottest shit with Sky Striker. I was I have not lost to anybody I'm playing against. Practicing, I'm gonna go off tomorrow. So first off, I played some what was his name? Asianized White Dragon. I played him first round, and I had no idea who he was. And this guy next to me starts hyping him up, "Oh my god, that's him! Oh my god!" And so I'm getting super flustered and stuff. What is he really good or something? What's going on? So I completely punt that round because I'm just flustered, and I this guy next to me is freaking out, starstruck as he's playing his duel, talking over my shoulder, oh, whoa. So next round, I literally play the guy I traveled there with. So I've been scraping this guy literally the entire time I've been out there. He has not beaten me yet. He 2-0s me, and I'm oh my god, what the? I was I'm what's going on? What happened? And then the third round comes around, and I win, but it's all right, it's Nats. I'm already X2. I'm pretty sure it's over. So I just kind of folded it, and I was whatever, I'll play one more round, and I lost that round. So I was all right, I'm done. And the rest of the trip was super fun. I just went around looking at stuff and hung out with these guys. And it was still despite the fact that I completely punted my first trip to Nats, I had a ton of fun because a bunch of my teammates were there and we just hung out, went to dinner a bunch. It was awesome.
That was 2019, right?
Yeah.
And we all topped.
All of us, even me who punted every round I played.
That was a tough event. We all played the wrong deck.
Yeah.
But to be fair, we were all doing really well with the Orcus deck. I know I topped 2 regionals before Nats, and I was just all right, this is the best deck.
Yeah. You guys were playing really well before Nats, and then Jake did pretty good in that event, didn't he? He still
Jose did the
okay.
best.
I think
Yeah.
both Jake and Jose
Was
made it to the end of day one. Jose technically made it to day 2, but not with a record that was going to top, I don't think.
I think I bubbled out the final round or the round before the final round, something like that.
What were you playing?
19. It was the Spellbook Striker.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
In a format with Colossus, that's really interesting.
I mean, that's the only thing you can lose to.
The only thing you can lose to is the best deck, of course.
I mean, my Kagari is half of the time bigger than a Colossus.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
guys, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, I played Pure Striker and saw 2 Thunder Dragons, and then one.
Oh, low-key, Geist was probably the best deck for that event.
Geist was. I should have played Geist. I had been playing Geist, and I went back to.
Honestly, there wasn't. Now looking back to it, everyone say Danger Thunder is the best. There wasn't that many Danger Thunder at all in that.
Yeah. Yep,
you can even tell who's playing Danger Thunder. That's how few they are.
Well, and another thing is Jesse won one of the YC
right before it.
Yeah, and he didn't leak his list, and that was the best.
Yeah, most of DA guys are on Danger Thunder, but outside those, there are relatively few.
Well, it was just them in luxury.
Yeah.
You guys remember Jesse's playing Sky Striker and dropping Utopia double to win?
Oh yeah, there was
the
that was
playoff.
really
That was
intelligent. Just because he played over 40 cards, so his opponents thought he was playing Thunder again, and he wasn't, obviously.
Galaxy brain move.
Yeah, that was certainly a Worlds playoff.
That was so fun to watch. Just completely different deck than what I would normally see him playing, and just at that time at least.
I mean, yeah,
he was the Thunder guy.
The playoff is its own format, so you got to metagame really hard.
Yeah, when I saw it was Jesse and Manav in the final for one of those invites, right?
No, it was Jesse and Gabe in the finals. Manav and them played in top 4.
Oh yeah, but like Jesse and Gabe had to play in the finals, but they both got invites to Worlds.
Yeah,
So like
yes.
it was between Jesse and Manav in the round before to like guarantee Worlds, and I never would have put money on Jesse in a striker mirror against Manav.
Yeah, right.
I remember everyone saying that like they feel bad for Manav losing a striker mirror to Jesse.
Yeah.
I mean, like Jesse's deck just had to play differently. Like Manav was like prepared to like play the mirror like the way you're supposed to play it, which is like slow and like conserve your resource. And Jesse was like, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. All of a sudden,
I'm gonna summon Utopia Lightning. Now you die.
All right. Well, it's 4 o'clock.
Thank God.
Walter, wait, Walter.
What?
You haven't shared your favorite story yet.
Yeah.
I don't really have that many other than
9th place. 9th place.
Yeah, that's literally like the only funny story I have.
9th place.
I can retell it again.
Oh, wait.
I've never heard it.
My favorite story of Walter is when the judge ruled that he used diagram already when he had.
I hate it here. God damn it.
That was insane.
Wait, a judge did what to you?
So
yeah,
Walter,
I was playing True Draco Zoo for a Minnesota regional. And I had to win the match and I would have gotten top 8, but for some reason, whatever happened, the judge who was standing by ruled that I had already used diagram for turn. My opponent was playing Invoice.
Oh no.
Brian's just like, I don't
know what's happening.
Don't care.
Okay. I don't know why my Discord keeps kicking out of me. I'm gonna have to. Okay. So your opponent was playing Invoked. That's what I heard.
Yeah, and if I was able to use diagram, I would have won the game there in time. But the judge said I'd used diagram already. I'm like, I don't remember this. I don't know what's going on. Everybody around me was talking and arguing if I did or didn't. So
you definitely did
not.
not.
I'm like, what the fuck's happening? So yeah, I lost that one and lost getting top. But what was it? A year later, I was starting to help judge events too, and I did an event with that guy, and he did not look my way, and he avoided all contact with me the entire day. It's like, yeah, you fuck off, guy.
Name him. Name drop his ass.
I don't remember his name actually.
Yeah, I don't know it either.
That irrelevant. Doesn't matter.
Oh my god.
Just Joe leaves the call.
What? Right. Why would I leave the call? I love this podcast.
Okay. Time for all of us to go play Master Duel.
Yeah, my Discord's crapping out. It's my Discord's telling me it's time to wrap this up. So thanks guys for hanging out, chatting with us about OCG list and reminiscing on the glory days of actually being able to play YCSs in person, hopefully soon. And we'll see everybody next week.
Shout out, Mount
Fuji.
Yo.